Las Cruces, New Mexico. An 8th grader with a lengthy criminal history beginning when he was 9 has been charged as an adult for allegedly stabbing someone who was trying to throw him out of a party. I'm going to name this 14-year-old because he's been charged as an adult. His name is in the public record. Devin Ramsey, 14 years old, going to be arraigned next Monday before 3rd Judicial District Court Judge Fernando Macias. In New Mexico, 14 is the youngest that somebody can actually be charged as an adult. And if this were Devin Ramsey's first run-in with the law, he'd probably still be charged as a juvenile. But his criminal record goes back to when he was 9, 5 years ago. He was charged May 5th by a grand jury with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon after he and his 16-year-old brother allegedly stabbed another man in the lung and the kidney on April the 3rd. The state is seeking adult sanctions, according to the prosecutor, which shows the seriousness of the crimes because Ramsey's behavior shows kind of an indifference, not only to the laws, but to court orders and to public safety, because it really runs the gamut as far as the types of crimes that this child is involved in, said Assistant District Attorney Stephen Blankenship. This goes right back to what we were talking about with Seton Motley and Mike McCarville in the weekly roundtable earlier. What piece of legislation is going to get Devin Ramsey to quit engaging in criminal activity when the prosecutor says his behavior shows an indifference not only to the laws, but to court orders and to public safety? What piece of legislation can you pass? You could pass the Devin Ramsey blah, 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 blah Act of 2011, but what's it going to be that is going to get this young man to turn his life around? At some point, is it not up to Devin Ramsey? Even at the tender age of 14, does he not have to take some responsibility for his actions? If convicted of the stabbing, Ramsey could face up to 3 years in prison. And even though he is a juvenile, being charged as an adult, he would go to a juvenile facility. He could go to the Youth Diagnostic and Development Center in Albuquerque, possibly. The assistant district attorney, the prosecutor in this case, says it seems like he definitely presents a danger to this community, but at the end of the day, I hope that he's somebody that there's a way to rehabilitate. Now, the vast majority of the cases that he has been involved in since the age of 9, according to the prosecutor, were handled informally, no actual charges. This year alone, Ramsey's been charged with the unlawful carrying of a deadly weapon, which is a blue pocket knife at Lynn Middle School, which, again, it's a pocket knife. Possession of marijuana, assault, and public affray. Those cases are still pending trial. But Las Cruces Police Department records describe Ramsey as a suspect in crimes beginning when he was 7. When he was 7. In April 2005, officer found Booker T. Washington Elementary School ransacked. Suspects, including Ramsey, had allegedly broken a window, written swear words on a chalkboard, stolen pixie sticks, and destroyed some puppets of the children. All right, so maybe, wrong crowd, older kids, they break into a school. And also in 2005, an officer interrupting a fight at the A. Fielder Memorial Safe Haven found a glass marijuana pipe in Ramsey's pocket. He was 7. A few months later, the 7-year-old ended up attacking a little girl. Again, kind of minor stuff. Swung a mop handle at her, threw a beer can at her head. Stuff you wouldn't want your kid doing. Stuff that indicates your kid may have a bit of a behavioral problem, to put it mildly. Later in 2005, he and his older brother caught spray painting over a gang symbol with another gang symbol. In 2006, apparently shot a rubber band at his special ed teacher. Okay, again, he said it was an accident. All right, whatever, it's an accident. 2007, allegedly punches a fifth grade boy in the groin, hard enough that the school nurse had to send him to the hospital. But, again, some of these you could make the case if they were perhaps in isolation. Oh, boys will be boys, kids are going to be kids. And then in 2007, he's caught on surveillance video ransacking cars at a bowling alley, smashing out the windows, which is not boys will be boys, kids will be kids behavior. In 2008, an adult woman who I guess was a friend of the family, she would do Ramsey's hair, called police after reportedly walking in on then 12-year-old Devin Ramsey and an older teenager burglarizing her home. Jewelry, checkbooks have been stolen, as had a handgun. A few backpacks with electronics have been left behind. Apparently the young individuals smuggled in beer to the home that they also left behind. The disposition of that case not immediately available to the press. 2 months after that, a school security officer reported seeing Devin Ramsey claiming a gang membership, start a fight with a boy in a rival gang. He was cited for battery and disorderly conduct. Case was ultimately handled informally. 2 weeks after that, he was written up for another fight in which his alleged gang affiliation is mentioned again. He's 12, and he's already very proud of his gang affiliation. In fact, the first time that there were indications that Devin Ramsey had joined a gang was in 2005, when he would have been 9. A 9-year-old claiming affiliation with a street gang. Tell me what gun control law you can pass that is going to deal with 9-year-olds who join gangs. I mean, really, that's not even putting a Band-Aid on the problem. That's actually ignoring the problem. Oh, no, we just need a one-gun-a-month law. A one-gun-a-month law is not going to affect Devin Ramsey at all. There's more, but I mean, it just keeps going. It keeps going. 2009, additional conflicts. 2010, additional conflicts. And now this, 14-year-old being charged as an adult for the first time. Accused of stabbing a man twice. And if convicted, the most he'll do is 3 years. I will say a prayer tonight for Devin Ramsey. That if he does those 3 years behind bars in that juvenile facility, that he can turn his life around. Because otherwise, 4 years from now, we're going to be hearing about Devin Ramsey again. And nobody wants to, I don't think anybody wants that to happen. But again, point to me the gun control law or the knife control law or the car control law or the control law that is going to make Devin Ramsey be a law-abiding 14-year-old. The answer is that there isn't a piece of legislation. Because a culture of lawlessness can't be combated with another law. I told you a few days ago about my wife and her kids, my stepkids, and the fact that they lived in Camden, New Jersey for 9 years. These were the formative years of my stepdaughter's life. Really, I mean, she was 11 when she moved from Camden. At that point, when Devin Ramsey was 11, he had already fallen in with a gang. And yet my daughter growing up in Camden, New Jersey, I'm sure that there are parents out there who are as proud of their kids as I am of my daughter, but I don't think there's anybody out there who's prouder of their kid than I am of my daughter and what she has done with her life. And the other day, my wife shared with me the Mother's Day card that my daughter sent her. And I want to share it with you, if you don't mind. Because as we look at what we can do to make these high-crime neighborhoods and high-crime communities safer places for everybody, again, I think you have to look culturally. And my daughter, what she wrote, it blew me away. First of all, the card, it's Mother's Day. Hope you get to at least enjoy half a cup of coffee before having to do something for somebody, which was nice. But my daughter wrote, Mom, as I branch out into the world, I'm starting to notice that most people have no common sense or tact and are downright stupid. So thank you for making me get my elbows off the table so now I don't look like a sloppy fool at work luncheons. Thank you for not letting me chew gum. I think it looks trashy. Thank you for teaching me to cook so unlike many other people my age, I'm not too fat with diabetes. Thank you for checking my homework. I'm still awful at math and spelling, but I can fake it with technology. Thank you for forcing me to write thank you notes. It is a very classy and gracious habit to have. This could go on and on. Thank you, Mom, for all your love and discipline and encouragement and for not noting every grammatical error in this card. Happy Mother's Day to the greatest mom ever, from my daughter. I think that there are some clues in this card for how you make these communities better places. It is involvement with your kids. And I'm sure that there are good parents in Homewood who are involved with their kids. And you know what? Their kids are the ones who are staying out of trouble. They still, sadly, may end up being the victims of violent criminals. But I'm guessing if you look at the background of most of those violent criminals, they don't have moms who were checking their homework every night. They don't have moms who were saying, get your elbows off the table. One day you're going to be eating in front of people that you're going to want to impress them. They probably did not have parents who forced them to write thank you notes. I don't think there's a soundbite solution. I don't think there's one answer. I think there are a lot of things that we could do to affect the culture of these communities. Because you certainly can't legislate checking your kid's homework. I mean, you could, but again, the parents you're trying to reach aren't going to care. But if you want to make Homewood not just a safer place, but a better place, if you want there to be fewer Devin Ramseys in the world, you either need parents who care or you need adults who will care about these kids. Without that, I don't think they have any hope. And you could pass all the gun control laws in the world. You could pass Washington, D.C.'s handgun ban. You could pass Chicago's ban on self-defense. You could pass Mexico's one gun store in the country law. You could pass all of those. That won't make your community a better or a safer place. Because you can't just leave it up to legislation. It takes work. It's hard work raising a good kid in a tough environment. But you know what? It can be done. And don't ever tell me that it can't be, because I have seen the proof.